Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is edition number 1 of Twist News. In Twist News today we have HyperV from Microsoft, increasing support for other operating systems. We have Microsoft buying Skype, we have ARM in the kernel, we have the Yahoo patent win, we have a kernel in a browser, we have free and open source software saves Santos a large amount of money, well, a relatively large amount of money. We have Ubuntu 10.10, Chromebook, we have Flash 10.3, and we have the new graphics switch capability, switching between NVIDIA and Intel. First in the news, Microsoft's Hyper-V, it already supports Enterprise GNU/Linux distributions such as Red Hat Enterprise Linux and SUSE Linux Enterprise Server. It will now support the RHEL clone Santos, which is a community distribution aimed at enterprise use. The rationale behind it is that many enterprises now use a different variety of platforms for different purposes, especially via virtualization. ARM on Linux. Basically, there's been a bit of fragmentation in the ARM-based part of the kernel because mobile devices are increasingly popular. Apparently, the code will receive a cleanup in the upcoming 2.6.40 version. The rationale will be that different architectures have led to different fragmentation and redundancy in the code. Yahoo wins Bedrock patent case. Yes, unlike Google, Yahoo successfully defended its use of the Linux kernel. Google faced a similar case, while Red Hat has attempted to have the patent invalidated. The patent relates to hashing techniques. The rationale for the defense was that the patent-encumbered code was never executed on Yahoo's machines. Skype. Purchased by Microsoft. Skype was recently purchased by Microsoft. It was previously sold by eBay to a consortium that held onto it for a while. This may affect free and open source platform users that might not have the Skype in future. We don't really know what Microsoft's intentions for these things are, but the possible rationales for purchase are increased mobile market penetration and valuable development not passed on to the free and open source software community. The Linux kernel may be run in a browser, yes. Developer Fabrice Bellard of FFmpeg and QEMU fame has developed a JavaScript PC emulator. That PC emulator is able to run version 2.6.20. Apparently Chrome and Firefox are currently supported due to their increased JavaScript speeds. Basically, it's written in JavaScript, as the name indicates. Rationales for this: it was a fun project for the developer, and 486-like speeds were achievable. This may be used for JavaScript benchmarking, and another side note, might possibly be used for gaming within browsers. Santos to use GNU/Linux. Yes, ASX-listed company Santos will be using consolidation via virtualization in an attempt to get energy use savings. The operating system concerned will be Red Hat Enterprise Linux. They're moving to a thin client computing model. Geoscientists will benefit through the upgrade that have speed through a faster throughput. The rationales: cost savings of $2.5 million and perceived security through openness were the two primary reasons apart from the performance benefits. Ubuntu 10.10's possible refinements. Well, there'll be an improved Unity launcher. It's going to show progress bars and whatnot for the applications on the launcher. Yes, that's right. There'll be no GNOME 3 expected to be in the repositories, although a PPA will be made available. Thunderbird will possibly replace Evolution, but that has not been confirmed. A lot of this is up in the air, as other writers have said. They'll free up image space, perhaps by excluding LibreOffice. So as anyone would know, LibreOffice is quite large, depending on the install, somewhere between 100 and 200 megabytes. And another thing, they'll be excluding software which does not meet QA targets. What this basically means: software that they've shipped before that has been buggy, they will be getting rid of. They'll possibly replace Firefox with Chromium. That's possibly due to Chromium having 100% compatibility with ACID 3, but this is just speculation, of course, on my behalf. And the speed of its JavaScript engine, as previously mentioned. And apparently, Ubuntu 10.10 is due on the 13th of October 2011, although some of you will be very happy with 10.04 at the moment. Chromebook announced. Google's Chromebook is to be a full specification netbook. Apparently it'll have 12 and 11-inch screens. It'll have the Atom processor as typical in netbooks, 2 gig of RAM, which is a little bit of an upgrade from some of the netbooks that were produced in the past. Plenty of RAM there. It'll have 16 gig a 16 gig solid state drive, so expect some pretty decent speeds as far as hard drive, well not hard drive, but storage throughput there. Expected battery life is 8 hours, and of course that probably comes no moving parts, courtesy of the SSD. Possible rationales for announcing this: prepare external developers for application creation, generate anticipation for the product for consumers, and provide the world's first truly Web 2.0 oriented netbook developed by a search company. It ties into profit generation and ads. Adobe Flash 10.3 released. Yes, on Windows, Apple OS 10, and GNU/Linux supported. They'll be able to generate statistical data for media uses, pretty much just for marketing purposes, I believe. They'll improve audio functionality, including noise cancellation, voice detection, volume normalization, so all the good stuff for audio input and output there. Easier data retention management, basically privacy settings, getting rid of history and that sort of thing. It'll be made much easier, and there'll be notification of available updates on the OS X platform. Those who use GNU/Linux may have had previous difficulty with installing Flash. However, that's much simplified of today, but the point is that on OS X, which is meant to be a very easy system to use, very user-friendly, they're going to have the updates there. Now, the possible rationale for this quick update that they've had is to maintain the relevance of Flash in the wake of HTML5 video tags and the emergence of free media types such as WebM, and also to fix the possible exploits that they've had most recently. Systems now support GPU switching. Yes, apparently there's now, on Windows they've had for a while NVIDIA Intel GPU switching. Apparently this Bumblebee project supports the Optimus GPU switching, which will be the first time it has been supported on GNU/Linux systems. The supported systems are some machines with NVIDIA Intel GPUs. The uses a software list to determine the GPU to use. So if you're using a less graphically intense program, get the idea. The project's not really ready for everyday use, but it's just simply an announcement basically that it's there and available for people to try out. Rationales for this: permit power savings available from Intel GPUs without rebooting and switching, and of course it saves time, and it allows systems to remain capable of playing contemporary 3D intensive games. Please subscribe to T.W.I.S.T News. And now, as a bit of a difference, we have a weekly chess problem. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a chess problem here. This is an interesting one. It looks like here that white is in a little bit of trouble. He's got queen and knight versus rook and queen. His back rank is looking pretty nasty, while black's black back rank rather is looking quite pretty. Well, it's only the perception. If you know the pattern, I'm sure you'll get it straight away. However, for those who don't know the pattern, you can pause the video for a second and try and work out this nice little problem. Okay, well, I'm about to give the solution for those who wanted to pause. Anyway, the solution is as follows. Knight takes f7, check. Of course, the king has only one place to move, since the knight cannot be captured. Then we open up the line with a double check. The queen is now checking the king, and the knight is checking the king, therefore the king must move. We wouldn't move to here because we get checkmated straight away. Okay, so where would we move? We move here to h8. Well, here's the interesting one. Check. Oh, the queen is going. The rook takes, and nice, it's a perfect smothered mate. Anyway guys, this has been T.W.I.S.T. I hope you enjoyed this first presentation of T.W.I.S.T, and we will have a next edition obviously next week. If you'd like to subscribe, please do, and enjoy.